Hello everyone. This video presents a notable event that happened on each day from the past week in history. On June 9th, 1973, Secretariat, often called Big Red, won the final round of horse racing's Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes, by an unprecedented and unequaled 31 lengths. In fact, Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont all in record times that still stand 50 years later. Secretariat was a big, strong horse, 16 3/4 hands high and weighing in at 1,155 pounds. With a stride of 24 feet 11 inches, he could cover ground at a top speed of 49 miles per hour, carrying a jockey, even faster if unburdened. His best time of 2 minutes and 24 seconds for a mile and a half remains the world record for a racehorse. At the age of 19, Big Red developed a hoof disease and had to be euthanized. On June 10, 1943, Hungarian Jewish inventors Laszlo and Georg Biro were granted a patent in Britain for the successful modern ballpoint pen. Prior to their invention, attempts to make ballpoint pens failed to find the balance between ink that would be liquid in the pen and yet dry quickly on paper. American John J. Loud had invented a ballpoint pen half a century before the Biro brothers, but his attempt, like others, was not successful. Laszlo was the genius behind the mechanics of the workable pen, while Georg made the ink work properly. The brothers had fled persecution in Europe during World War II for safe haven in Argentina in 1943. A week after filing the British patent, the Biros also filed for an American patent for their pen, and after the war, ballpoint pens became the handwriting standard. On June 11, 980, Vladimir the Great was proclaimed the ruler of all Kievan Rus, having consolidated an empire consisting of the lands from what is now Ukraine in the east to the Baltic Sea in the west, the White Sea in the north, and to the Black Sea in the south. Called the Kievan Realm, the people comprising this vast country included what are now Ukrainians, Russians, Belarusians, Nordic and Finnic people, along with other Slavic people. As the name implies, the capital of these people was located in Kiev. Vladimir, bearing the titles of Grand Prince of Kiev and Prince of Novgorod, secured his victories over the Turkic people from the east and in turn spread Christianity through his realm, having converted personally in 988. He ruled the Kievan Rus from 980 until his death in 1015. Did you know that Russia and Ukraine both started in Kiev? On June 12, 1981, moviegoers were treated to a film of action, adventure, romance, supernatural, and comedy when Raiders of the Lost Ark was released, the first of the Indiana Jones movie franchise that now includes 4 complete films and the upcoming The Dial of Destiny, due for release in the U.S. on June 30th, 2023. Dr. Jones does not crack the top 20 money-making list, but here are a few that do. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, the most prolific franchise with 31 films and the highest-grossing total yet. Star Wars, boasting 12 films and 9 television shows, as well as specials claiming the second highest box office gross so far. Spider-Man, web-slinging his way through 12 movies and 3rd place. The Wizarding World, where Harry Potter and his friends have the 4th highest box office. On June 13, 1996, after a tense 81-day standoff with the FBI, a group of Americans in the area of Jordan, Montana, that had declared themselves sovereign citizens not subject to the laws of the United States, finally surrendered. The Montana Freemen, as they called themselves, had the idea that they could legally declare their lands Justice Township, an independent entity outside the jurisdiction of the U.S. government. Various disregard of laws and debts soon got this group in legal and financial trouble, and some were convicted of crimes. By 1996, the FBI had warrants for the arrest of 8 of the Freemen, and a standoff followed until it ended with the arrests and conviction of the 8 men. As a question for my students and subscribers, do you know anyone that believes in the doctrine of sovereign citizens? On June 14, 1962, the European Space Research Organization was founded in Paris, later to become the European Space Agency, now with 22 member countries. While most focus is on the US and the Soviet-Russian space programs vis-à-vis the space race, other nations have joined in the endeavor to explore and exploit space. As of April of 2023, only Russia, the US, and China have launched humans into space via their own vehicles, while the American private firm SpaceX has also joined the Human Space Travel Club. Along with Russia, the US, and China, countries that have launched objects into space include the UK, Japan, France, India, Germany, Canada, and believe it or not, Luxembourg. Several other countries have space programs and are developing their capabilities. Should the US continue with plans to go back to the moon and eventually to land on Mars? On June 15, 1858, Chancellor of the Exchequer Benjamin Disraeli called the Thames River in London, England, a Stygian pool reeking with ineffable and intolerable horrors. The growth of London as a major industrial giant had turned the river into an open sewer that became so foul the Parliament could not conduct business due to the stench. The summer of 1858 was a hot one, with temperatures exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit, grossly aggravating the stench from a river that took in human and industrial waste with no treatment. Tossing 200 tons of lime into the river failed to solve the problem. An enormous sewer-building frenzy ensued, moving much of the sewage farther from the city, but still not treating the waste. Sewage continued to flow into the Thames until 1887. As a question for my students and subscribers, which event from this past week in history would you most like to learn more about? Please let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated. For image, audio, and other credits and attributions for components of the individual videos in this compilation, please see the descriptions of their respective videos, which are linked to in this video's description.